Hello, everybody. It's Monday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Terry. Good to see you. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Rhonda. Rhonda. How's my friend Rhonda doing today? How's your day been? Hope you've had a day that's been okay. I hope it's been okay. You've been doing great, Terry. That is good. That is so good. Okay. Hanging in there. Good. Hey, Angela. Hi, Linda. Sometimes you gotta, when you're not doing so good or you're in question, sometimes that hanging on thing, you gotta tie a knot. Gotta tie a knot in that rope. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Yes. I'm so glad you're here. I'm trying to figure out where I am. I think I'm here. I think we're all here together. It's Monday. It is Memorial Day. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Connie. You're flying a kite. Aww. That's neat. With your grandson. That's neat. That's neat. That is cool. How much better can you get than flying a kite with a kid? No matter how old they are. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming. So, come on in. I'm just trying to get my bearings here so I can figure out exactly what I'm doing. Okay. I think we might have it. He's 9, so a kite and a dirt pile go a long way. That's right. Kite and a dirt pile go a long way. And a grandma that will go use all those things with him. Okay, I think I kind of got myself organized. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a long time. Of course, I've been in and out too. All right. So it's Monday, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Then I'll talk. I am sure I'll talk while we're doing some stuff. So I showed you on Friday. I'm pretty sure it was Friday. I showed you this whole box of stuff, unfinished things, and took a vote on what people wanted. And some of what people wanted was for me to finish these cards, do some things with these flower girls, flower ladies. So this is my mantra. This is my mantra. I figured I would show it to you. I should frame this and put it on my desk. This is actually a card made of leftovers. Leftover scraps. That's me. Hang on. Let me overthink this. Yeah, so it's a card. Made of scraps. Nothing great, except I think that's me. That's me in a nutshell. I can overthink just about anything for a long time. And if Elton were in the chat, which he's not, he would agree with that. He surely would. He would surely agree with that. So, and this is where I say, we don't need any comments from the peanut gallery, Elton. My old great-granddaughter called him Elton. Elton. Anyway, it is Memorial Day. I hope you all have experienced a good day today as much as possible. It's a good day to celebrate and remember. Yes. Okay, let us look at, I'm going to take some of these cards that are sort of partially together. Here's one. And let's find a girl to go on this. Yep, I know, Rhonda. That is it's part of the charm of who we are. It is just part of our charm. All right, I wonder if I could let's just see. I don't know. Let me see if I can undo this. I don't know. It depends on what I stuck it down with. If I wreck the card, I wreck the card. It's no big deal. Undo works for adhesive that is not water soluble. Alright, we're just going to peel this off and we'll replace it with another one, because what I want to put on here needs to go behind the whatever the words are. So we're just going to, when in doubt, just until something's out of my hands, I can redo, undo, although in this case undo did not work because apparently I used probably some tacky glue or something. So the undo was not touching it. So we're just going to pick off as much of this as possible. This is fabric that's in the back. This is jelly plate printed fabric scraps. Okay, so let's just call that good enough. I like her. I like this girl on this card. So I think she looks okay on there. Do you guys think she looks okay on there? I think she does. We'll put the undo away. Your big brother is 90. You totally. It's your big brothers today. I saw great nephews and nieces, very mischievous bunch of littles. I bet. Big brother is 96. 96, Dorothy. Whoa. Your people live a long time, don't they? In your family. They do. That's great. All right, let's see if by some chance this glue is going to work. I wasn't able to get it to work before. Let's see if it's going to work. Oh, yay. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, we're going to just put some of this glitter glue because it's a fine tip. It's probably going to ooze out a little bit around the edges, but it's a card. It's a greeting card. So if people expect perfection from a greeting card that I make, you need to get over it. You need to get over it quick. You need to get over it quick. Okay, let me... If these were on sticker paper, it would be so nice, but they're not, so there you go. Now, the thing about art glitter glue is it dries quick. And so you can't dilly-dally around. Plus, I'm going to let her hang down here just a smidge. Plus, I have fans on in my room, so... Okay, I think she works. Right there, I think she works. Now I can either put a sentiment over the top of this, or a quote or a word or what have you. Or I could take some of the other flower girls. Let's see what we have. I think we'll just go with a sentiment right over the top. Let's see if we can find one. No, that's right, Denise. She said they should just be grateful they got a card. No complaining. Hi, Kate. Okay, the one I want is, I wonder if I can find it. These are the Tim Holtz Small Talk. Is this a Snark edition? No. Okay, this is not the Snark edition. What I want is Darling, You Are a Work of Art. We're just going to see if we can find it. I'm sure I will look right past it, but we're going to see if we can find it. Okay, I do need that. I just need that one. That's all. I may have used it already. Okay, I don't see it. So we're going to use this one, because this is the only kind of confetti that I believe in using. Kindness is the only kind of confetti I'm willing to use. That is a fact. I hate confetti. I hate glitter. So all I'm doing is taking this and just running this is blue ink. I mean, it's better probably if it's black, but this is blue ink. Okay, no, you're going to have to go on a scrap. Okay. I know, I'm not super well prepared for this, so hold on just a second, guys. Okay, I'm going to take this piece of black paper, put a little art glitter glue on top of the adhesive because I never trust it. I don't know if you guys do or not, but I never trust it. And we're going to make this bigger. So today is Memorial Day here in the United States, and we had a Memorial Day parade, and we went to it this morning. This would be better if I were to use a paper cutter. I will hopefully straighten this up after I cut it with scissors. So we went to it. It was at 10 o'clock this morning. But before we went, I had to take Miss Muppet, she'd been at the vet for a couple of days. You really need to cut these with a paper cutter. These scissors I have are not the best in the West. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's good enough. You know what? It is good enough. If anybody wants to get cranky because it's not perfect, they need to know that done's better than perfect. Anyway, Miss Muppet was gone having a spa treatment at the vet while we were working like fiends trying to get as much done at my house as possible for the several days last week while we had Elton's 13-year-old great nephew, whom I was informed that I did not tell you his name, that Elton gave him. And you guys need to know that Elton gives everybody names. And he called him Slave Boy. Slave Boy. He did work like a slave. And he did a great job, by the way. Great job. Perfect is found on some other channel besides this one. That is a fact. Okay, so there we have throw kindness around like confetti. And then hold on just 1 second. We're going to use a deep purple. And if I can find my deep purple, sometimes yeah, this one. Even though it says magenta hue or magenta something, it's even though it says magenta, I actually have used it with purple. I know. You'd think I would take the time to get another sponge. Anyway, people voted and they decided that they wanted to see me do something with these flower girls, and so I thought that was a great idea. And so we're gonna see how many of these we can turn into cards, and they may be super simple cards, and then again they may have a little more involvement. You just never know. Yeah, I kind of make them, I kind of let them tell me what they want to be. Okay, we're gonna call this one done. Okay, she's a flower lady. Throw kindness around like confetti. Good enough. She's done. Okay? Okay. So I gotta go get something in the other end of the house. I will be right back, okay? Talk amongst yourselves just a minute. Mods, keep everybody in line just a second. Okay, and I'm back. And she's back. And when you hear that go off again, I'm going to have to go do the deed again. All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's try the next one. Let's see what we got. All right, I have a couple of these cards that are jelly plate printed. Oh no, you forgot to water 3 houseplants. You know, that says you've got a lot going on, Rhonda. That's what that says. That's what it says. You got a lot going on. So let's see if we can take these cards and do something with these, shall we? First of all, let's look at the ones that are already matted and see if any of these will work with these backgrounds. And the thing about having too much going on in your life, truly, if that's the worst thing that happens, okay, these are not going to work. Will this one work with this? Yeah, not really. Okay, those aren't really going to work. Not with those. So let's just go for some girls. Let's find some girls that'll work on here. Well, she looks kind of cute on that one. I love this one with the bubbles on her. I think she's fun. I like that one on there. Okay. My policy is when I find something that works for me, I try not to change my mind. That doesn't always work. Sometimes it works, but it doesn't always work. And in case you didn't know where these came from, these are... Yeah, she's kind of cute. She's kind of cute with that. She probably blends in too much. Yeah, I don't know. I like her, but she kind of blends in too much. She is better, and she's a better size. So I created the faces. There's a closed eye face and an open eye face, and then I just made them into she shows up better. Which one do you guys like? Which one do you like better on this crazy wild background? You can tell me what you like. So I duplicated the faces, and then I had the faces that I could cut out. You like this one better? You like the yellow one or the orange one? Ruth says the orange one. Girl with the orange. Okay, done. We will do her. We will do her. Let me get some scraps also, and we're gonna work on these too. I've got some scraps over here, so I'm going to get those, and we're going to see if maybe we need to put some scraps on there just to kind of tie it together a little bit. All right, we got some scrappage. So let's look at the scraps. See if we can find something. Let's put this one aside for the moment. These are all hand painted from some fabric, some paper. So let's just see if there's something here we can use. Not necessarily. Okay. Okay, those aren't working for me. What I am thinking of is just to give her something to stand on a little bit to kind of set her up above the background just a little bit, but I'm not finding anything I like at the moment. How about this one? Gotta have enough contrast that it works. Let's see. Yeah, let's just give her a little something where she's got something to stand on. You know, it's a little card. We don't need to make a huge production out of it, Barb. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one. Just because. Alright, this is paper. No, this is just fabric. That's what this is. We're just going to put this on here. And I realize that when I'm showing you choices, that many of you are going to disagree with my choice, and that's perfectly fine that you disagree with my choice. Sometimes I'll give you a vote, sometimes not. So anyway, this morning we went to the parade, the Memorial Day parade here in our town, and it was really very nice. They hadn't had one for a long time. They used to have an air show here in town. It was a big air show that they brought planes in from all, you know, different wars, and military planes and helicopters and all kinds of stuff. And that was something that Claus Man loved to go to because my computer went to sleep. Hang on 1 second. Okay. It is fun to work with scraps, isn't it? It really is. Okay, so we're going to do this. Anyway, Claus Man loved, that was my former husband, loved to go to those things because he could fly. He went, he took flying lessons. His grandfather had an airplane, and he took flying lessons when he was a teenager. I don't know if they even still do that. But he was taking flying lessons at the same time as he was taking driver's education. And the day he turned 16, he went to take both his pilot's solo license and his driver's license. Well, he passed his pilot's license, and he flunked his driving test. So he could fly any place, anywhere, by himself because he had his solo license, but he had to have his mother drive him to the airport. Fun fact. But he loved airplanes. And he loved flying. His uncle, and his grandfather shared the plane until I don't know which one of them crashed the plane. I forgot. It wasn't Claus Man. It was either his uncle or his grandfather. I think maybe it was his grandfather. Wrecked the plane. Don't think it hurt. Don't think it hurt him, but it hurt the plane. Anyway, yeah. Okay, we're going to just put some ink around the outside edge of this a little bit, just to frame it in a little bit. So these flower girls, as I was saying, I'm a little bit all over the place because my brain's a little scattered at the moment, shockingly. It's been a busy, busy day. The flower girls are the faces that I drew. I then scanned them into the computer, duplicated them, and so then I cut them out and used them. And then all of the parts here, all of the parts that you see that make up the flower girls, those are all things that came from seed catalogs and flower magazines and stuff like that. And I made those. They're much bigger. I, again, scanned them into the computer, reduced them in size, and then put a whole bunch of them on one sheet so that I could print them out over and over. So that's where they came from. Okay, so let's take this and let's add a sentiment to this. Let's see. I like the snarky ones. Some people don't necessarily like the snarky ones. I do. Where's the snark edition? Here we go. Snarky, impertinent. Okay, let's see if we can find a snarky one that's not. I mean, you kind of have to be careful who you send these to. Okay. Here we go. This one is appropriate for anybody. Yes, for anybody. I'm going to trim it down just a wee bit. It had a lot of stuff on the end. A lot of extra black paper there. I'm going to just color the ends or the sides of the paper. The sides of the paper are the edge of the paper is white. So I prefer to have that. Okay, so I don't want to cover her completely up. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, we're going to just cut it apart. And we're just going to stick it on here. I have no idea. Some days are like that. So after we went to the parade today, and the reason I went is because one of my son's good friends who came and got some stuff from my house, he and his wife have a horse riding therapy business, and they were asked to be a part of this parade. So they had a great big horse that he was riding. Oops. And his wife was on a slightly smaller horse. And then behind them, they had a pony, and the pony's name is Thor. Little pony. Sometimes ponies have an attitude. This pony apparently is very good and is very good with people. That they work with veterans and children and so forth. It's pretty cool. So they were a part of this parade, and the husband, whose name is John, John is also, he works for the police department also. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. Does it go with that? Doesn't really matter. It's on there. I like the snarky things. Yeah, Rhonda, he could fly himself to school, except he didn't need to. Didn't need to. Okay, here's this one. Whoop. Let us, I need a baby wipe. Timer sounded. Okay. I'm just wiping off the little nozzle and putting that in. Okay, you guys look at her for just a second. I promise, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's see what we can do with this girl. Kind of like her on that background. She shows up nicely. Let's give her something. Let's give her a something. What's it on here? I don't know that she needs that. It goes kind of nicely, but I don't know that she needs. I'm kind of thinking, we're just going to scooch her up toward the top and then put something on the bottom. Yeah. Those snarky ones are funny. Anyway, so we got to see the horses. We got to see the pony named Thor. And I'd had a conversation with John earlier, I guess about a week ago. We chatted about that, and he told us they were going to be in the parade and all of that. So that was neat. They do a lot of work, a lot of good work to help a lot of people. And I think that's very cool. I like to support people where I have the opportunity. So that was neat. We got to do a really goofy thing the other day. Some of you may be very familiar with this. Neither Elton nor I had ever heard of this kind of baseball game that we went to. And it was when we were taking Slave Boy back to meet his dad. And so we were meeting them about halfway from their house. They live like 4 hours away from here, 3.5, 4 hours away from us. And so we were meeting Dad and two of the other kids. There's 7 kids in the family. So we were meeting them a little over halfway. And we met in Kansas City. And they were going to a baseball game. Now you guys tell me if you've ever heard of this. Banana baseball, banana ball, banana baseball. We went to see the Savannah Bananas. Have you heard of the Savannah Bananas? We never had. Never had heard of them. They're like the baseball version of the Harlem Globetrotters. Have any of you ever heard of? Terry's heard of it. I'd never heard of them. Neither had Elton. And I don't think that any of the family had been to see them before. And that is like the craziest thing. It's like the craziest thing out there when it comes to baseball. And this family is crazy. They are crazy for baseball because they've got 2 boys that play baseball and do quite well. And then they've got, they enjoy, love going to Cardinals games and all that sort of thing. They don't, and they go to a lot of the AAA or AA baseball. But I'd never heard of it before. That game is not boring. You've seen ads for them? Well, if you ever have a chance to go and go see the Savannah Bananas, they played the Firefighters. And I guess they travel together. And it was funny. It was funny. It was good. We had a good time. The stadium, if any of you are familiar with the Royals Stadium, the Kansas City Royals Stadium, it was sold out. It was sold out. Yeah, that's a lot of people. I'm looking for something to put on this card. Okay, we're going to use this one. But it was great. And there was a guy, okay, I'd never even heard of this kind of baseball. Never heard of it. Never. And Slave Boy was reading the rules to us. I mean, they have got crazy rules. Like when they play an inning, at the end of the inning, no matter how many runs are scored, whoever scored the most runs gets a point. 1 point. Okay? And then the very last inning, they play, and it's a timed thing. So if at the end of 2 hours, the game is not over, whoever's ahead wins, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it's an interesting thing. So I've listened, I was listening to the rules, and it's silly stuff like if somebody hits a fly ball, pop fly, and a fan catches the ball, well, then the player who hit that fly ball is out. Well, that, so it's not like that in real baseball. Anyway, I'll tell you more in a second. Okay, so there is this little girl, and we're going to call her done. Today is full of possibilities. I may come back and add a few more little, embellishments with ink or something, but, we're going to get the bones of a bunch of these done. So today is full of possibilities. I like her. She looks okay. Okay. So, yes. So we sit down, and we didn't all get to sit together because we got our tickets at a different time than the other 4 people got their tickets. And so we went to, the 2 of us went and sat down, and then they had a little more trouble getting their tickets sorted out, and they finally got it, and they finally got in the stadium, and everything was good. And but we didn't get to sit together. It would have been a lot more fun. But what ended up happening was that I got to sit next to a guy who was a father, which was, and he brought his family, which was great. But I'm here to tell you that the guy had truly smoked his share of dope. I mean, I'm not laughing because he clearly had done that. I'm laughing because he says at one point, he leans over to me and he's so excited to be there with his kids, and he obviously knows about this type of baseball, and they were so excited to come, so he's very excited about it. And then at one point he leans over to me. It must have been about the third inning. He leans over to me, and he's been making quite a conversation with me through the whole game so far, and his kids were cute, and so I'm visiting with him when he asks me questions and stuff, and it's obvious that he has, what do I say, imbibed. Not necessarily before the game, but in his lifetime, he has clearly imbibed in mind-altering substances of some kind. It was very nice. It wasn't that he was not nice, and it's also not that he was obnoxious, because he wasn't. He just was a talker. About into the third inning, he leans over to me and he says, "I am confused about the scoreboard." And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I can understand that you could be confused about the scoreboard. And he said, "Those scores don't add up." And he's right, because at the end of every inning, let's say that at the end of inning one, I don't remember what it was, but let's say at the end of inning one, the score was 2-1. Well, the team that had 2 clearly won that inning. Okay? Won the inning. And so they are awarded 1 point. Okay, so that's why the guy was confused, because the points weren't adding up, and then let's say you go to the next inning and the score is 3-1, but the other team got 3. And it doesn't matter that they got 3. It matters that they were ahead, that they had more points, more runs than the opponent's team. And so they were awarded 1 point. Okay? That's how the scoring works. And I had just learned this myself. I had just learned this from Slave Boy, because he was reading the rules to us. And so I said, well, the way it works, as I understand it, I didn't act like I was a know-it-all, because I don't know it all. But I said, the way I understand it is that, and I explained it to him, and he goes, like this. Oh. He said, "You've clearly been to these games before." And I said, "No, this is my first one." And he goes, "Wow, you're really smart." And I'm like, "Nope. But Google and me, we're like this." He said, "Oh, you looked it up." I said, "Well, somebody in the car that we were traveling with looked it up." I said, "That's the only way I know that." "Oh, wow." So then he says to his family, he said, "This is how it works." And he proceeds to enlighten them, and he says, and he points to me and he says, "She's educating me." And I'm like, "Oh, don't blame this on me." Don't. Just don't blame this on me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. Okay, so this little girl is going to live on this crazy background. I put a black mat behind it. I already had this piece. That was just left over from some bigger piece that I did. I already had it cut to a size that will work, but it needed a mat behind it in order to make her show up. So with a black mat behind it, that shows up. All right, let's find a card that she can live on. Let's see what she wants to live on. Shall we see if she wants to live on this color? Let's see. Will she want to live on this color? What do you think? I think that's a good color. Never mind, you don't get a vote. ah. I know, Contact Buzz just sitting behind. Did he smell like a skunk when he sweat? I don't know. I don't know. I have to say that I really didn't. I have to say I really didn't sniff him out. I really didn't. It is good. I'm in a silly mood. Somebody called me up today. All right, where'd my tape go? Okay, here it is. Somebody called me up today, or sent me a text today and said, I understand that you might be selling your house. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Word gets around. And we would be interested in taking a look at it. And I'm like, whoa, that's nice. So, yeah, so people that I knew actually looked at the house today. And I said, look, it is a mess. I mean, it's getting better every time I'm over there working, but still. And so, anyway, those of you that are praying kinds of people or sending good energy kinds of people or keeping good thoughts kind of people, whatever your persuasion is, I would appreciate that a lot, because it would sure be nice if I could get the house taken care of. Yeah, it really would. I've made a lot of progress lately, but oh my goodness, I am so ready to live in one spot. It really would. It really would. I would like to live in one spot and not have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth much longer. I have been cleaning out something somewhere since last August. And I just want to create. I just want to get back to my creative life for good. I get the little snippets of time with you guys when I get to stream. But as far as doing what I really want to do, I have not been able to do that for quite a while. All right, let's see if we can try to get this on here kind of straight. Any of you that get a card from me that it's all straight, if everything's straight and even, that's an accident. So it's not that I don't try, because I do. I really try hard. But that doesn't mean that I am successful. Most of the time I'm not very successful with doing things and getting them nice and straight. Okay, let's put this purple edge around it, because just to have a little edge would be great. Do you know what Slave Boy's favorite thing was about being at our house? This absolutely cracked me up. Okay, remember he's from a family of 7 kids. So, what do you think? Okay, this is trivia question. What do you think was his favorite thing about coming to visit? Even though he had to work, we did take him out to eat some fun places that he'd never been before. What do you think his favorite thing was? Okay, so this is this is everybody's favorite card so far. And it's pretty straight. I know, Denise, you never know who you're going to meet when you go out in the world. Watching is creating. I used to do that too. I absolutely used to do that, Rhonda. I would watch people and I'd get my creative fix. It was a simple thing that he loved. Anybody? No line for the bathroom. Terry, ding, 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 ding. It wasn't just no line for the bathroom. He got to have his own bathroom. He loved that. He absolutely loved that he got a bathroom to himself. And he didn't have to wait. It was so cute. He is a sweet, sweet kid. Sweet kid. So fun. Okay, we're going to put this one on here. Yeah, he's 13. He'll be 14 in about a month. A little less than a month. Just such a nice young man. I knew him, but this time I got to, really know him, That's fun when you get to really spend time with somebody enough that they actually let you get to know them. That's the other thing. You never know with teenagers. You never really know if they're going to let you know them. Because sometimes they're pretty standoffish, or can be, just because they're insecure or they think they know everything, or any number of other reasons that they can be that. All right, we're just going to put this little thing on here. I just like to have a little thing of encouragement on the cards. Sometimes the cards are just the right little thing is the right encouragement for somebody at that moment, She is brave. So there you go. Okay, so we're done with that one at the moment. All right, let's see what else we have here. What else do we have here? Here, some of these I have. Pardon me. Let's take this one. And this one is sincerely layered up, boy. This one is sincerely layered up. Look at all the layers on that silly thing. There's the card, a mat, another mat. Let's put a girl on it. Let's just put a girl on it. Let's see what we got. Let's see about if there's one of these that we could cut down that she would look good on there. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. Well, no. Okay, so none of those work so well. So let's just dig through the pile of girls and see what we can find. Get all my choices here. When you start doing stuff like this, you know what? You just have a big mess on your desk. Denise doesn't have to wait at all. Terry says 7S with one bathroom. Yeah. Hey, Signa. Yeah, no line for the bathroom. That was his favorite thing. Oh, she looks pretty virginal. that was a misprint, but she looks pretty. Yeah, okay, let's see what else we have. Let's try to use the ones that we haven't used already. Did I use this one already? Nope. Okay, so we have her. I like her hair. I like her hair too. So we have those two options. We've already used this one. I'm trying to use ones that are different so we have different, you know, different ones to look at. So we have that one. Hey, Sharon. Good to see you. This poor girl has a back problem. I don't know why. I don't have any idea why I did that one that way. I have no idea why I did her that way. Here's this one. No. Here is this one. So we have those options. You guys look at them and see, you know, keep track of the ones, which one you like. We have this one. This is how she was supposed to print. I think she's too bright. I think she's too bright. Okay, here's this one. She has corks for hair. She does. She has corks for hair. You guys have a preference? Here's this one. Too busy. Put your vote in for which one. You got to give me a specific identifiable characteristic though. You can't tell me that one because that one doesn't, I don't know what that one is. And then there's this one. She's not too bad. Okay, let's line these up. 2, 3, 4. This is deadly to give you this many choices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's scoot these down. Helpful. It'd be helpful if you could see them, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be helpful. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Tell me which one you like. Two or three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Sharon likes these two. Ruth likes this one. Starla likes number 1. Catherine likes 2. So far, number 2 is seeming to be the winner. You clean 5 bathrooms, Terry? Linda likes 2. Okay, so let's put this one on here. Is this the one you guys like? I think she's kind of cute on there. Let's go with that one, okay? All right, we'll go with her. We'll just go right with her, shall we? She needs to actually be on something that's going to lift her off the background a little bit. I don't know if any of these are going to work to do that. Just need something that's going to lift her up off that background a little bit. Kind of picks up the orange a little bit. Just looking here, guys, just looking. Sometimes you just have to take a second and see. Okay, so that's the best one of those choices. And then, of course, we did paste papers last week. So let's take a quick look through this and see if we see anything. She might be kind of nice on this one. That's a lot like what I have over there. I like this piece of paper a lot. I hate to use it because I like that piece of paper so much. See, that's what happens. What about this one? Kind of like one of that. I think I like that one. Okay, let's think about this. So it's going to go on this card. Just want a background. Maybe we'll do her right there. Let's try it. I mean, it's a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper, and nobody, it's just a piece of paper. It's not going to change. It's not going to change anything or make any big difference in the world. So if it's not exactly the right thing, nobody's going to know the difference. Yep. So nobody's going to know the difference. So I met a new young lady today. She's 14. Her name is Kennedy. So Kennedy, if you're watching, I just wanted to say it was really nice to meet you today. And I hope that you join us anytime you want. You would like. We would love to have you join in the chat if you want to. Kennedy likes art. I found that out today. And you know what? Whatever I can do to encourage somebody that is a teenager, or anyone for that matter, if I can encourage you to be creative, I'm going to do that. And you know, sometimes being creative means just watching. Sometimes it means trying. So anyway, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be doing anything. You can be imagining, or you can be you can do it to me what I do to people a lot, and that's excuse me, in my head I'm going, oh no, I wouldn't do that. Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. I have a running dialogue in my head. Never runs out, never comes out of my mouth, or usually doesn't. And I have this running dialogue going, and I'm going, wow, that's really, oh no, I think that wasn't a choice. I wouldn't have made that choice. Yeah, that's really good. Any of the rest of you do that? But it keeps me engaged, and it keeps me involved with what's going on, and sometimes I go, oh, that's just not going to be a good choice at all. And then when the creator gets done with whatever the thing is, whether it's fabric or stitch or paint or, you know, whatever, I look at it and go, that was really cool. That's very cool. I just didn't think it was going to turn out like that. You taught me something. Thank you. Okay, so let's take a look at this little girl. I think she's okay. Let's put a little bit of ink around her, around this paper, just to, and this is just copy paper that I did these paste paper prints on. So it's only 20-pound paper, so you have to be a little careful when you do that. You know, one of the things I found out about kids is that kids will just go for it, you know, where adults, and I found this when I was teaching piano lessons too, adults are so self-critical that they're afraid that they're going to make a mistake, you know, and myself included. I do the same thing, you know. I can't complain or be too critical of other people, because you know what? I do the same stuff. I like her. I like her. So we're going to put her on here. I just wanted something that was just a little different, that was going to set her away from the background just a little bit. So, and again, you can have a dialogue going on with yourself going, no, I don't think I'd like that. But you know, one of the other things is sometimes I don't like stuff that I do, and I'll put it in a discard pile or the junk pile or the whatever, you know, just, it's like, be gone from me. Be gone from me, you wretched, horrible, whatever. And then someday I come back to it and I go, I know I didn't like this, but I'm not sure what it was about it that I didn't like. You know? Because sometimes it looks way better after it's been sitting for a little while. It just can sometimes just look a whole lot different, a whole lot better. Now this is going to have the appearance of being put up on foam tape or something. I don't know that you're going to be able to see it, but that's the way that in real life it looks. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Probably not. Here, you can probably see it right here just a little bit more, like it's been put up on a layer of something. That's just because this piece of paper back here was embossed. It was run through with an embossing folder. Yeah. So it has that look. So there she is. So let's see if there's any appropriate or inappropriate, as the case may be, words. You like that one? Good. I wish I could find this Darling You Are a Work of Art one. It's on here somewhere. It has to be. Ah, there it is. All right, I found it in white. I would rather have it in black. Let's see. It's on the sheet that starts with always. There it is. Found it. Okay, I like this one. Whoop, dropped some. Okay, we're going to need to put this on a little piece of something. Yeah, where did I put the black paper? I just had it here. All right, hold on one second. Here it is. Okay. Do I want it on black? Black's no good. Let's put it on okay. Although it probably doesn't make a lot of sense, we're going to put it on this just because I want it. You know, if it's going to be a chaotic card, let's make it bona fide chaotic, shall we? I wish I didn't have to keep sticking this pin back in this glue bottle, but if you don't, man, it really does. It really does stop up quickly. All right, let's see if we can make this Let's see if we can trim this up just a little bit. Oh, you know what I got to do today that was really fun? This was fun. The guys that came to look at my house that are thinking and possibly about, you know, it's a maybe they'll buy it. All right, it's not good when the scissors decide to go off on their own. They decided to go off on their own because there's a dull spot in the scissors. That's okay. It's good enough. Darling, you are a work of art. You know what? There are people that if they could send that to me at a certain point in time when I was deeply struggling, that would have helped me enormously. So the right person will show up that needs this card. Anyway, one of the things Slave Boy did when he was here helping us is he helped clean out 3 areas of my house because he's 13 and he is strong as a bull. He's not a huge kid, but boy is he strong. He helped clean out 2 attic spaces. And I have this area over in the house that because a big part of the house is a split foyer, there's an area under the steps. That was our basement, but to get to it, you had to get on your hands and knees and crawl under it. It was handy. Let me tell you, it was so handy. But you know who loves that space? Every kid, regardless of how old they are, every kid that ever walked into our house that knew about that space, our grandchildren absolutely loved it. They would crawl under there. We kept toys under there, you know. Well, what was under there also was a John Deere. I got a sticker stuck to the bottom of my foot. Nope, it went somewhere. Okay, never mind. Yes, squirrel. A John Deere pedal tractor that we got. Actually, Clausman came home with it when Race was a little boy. He came home with this pedal tractor. And I was privileged to give it away today to a man who has 8 grandsons. Yeah. And so I think they are going to have a wonderful time. He kept saying, no, I need to pay you. I need to pay you. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Okay. There she is. I think she's pretty cool. I like her. Okay. All right. How much more time we have? Let's do, okay, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's do some more. Shall we? All right. Let's do some more. Okay. What do we want to do now? I have a couple more that are in process. Let's see. Stay curious and be you bravely. All right, let's see if we can find one to go on here. I never did like this card when I made it. So maybe adding a girl to it will change it. Yeah, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. I know. That made me feel so good. I have tried to give that tractor to so many people, and nobody wanted it. And I'm like, I don't want to sell it. I want to give it away. I want to give it to somebody that's going to enjoy it. And I like that. Do you like her on there? Do you like her on this? I think she looks good there. Do you? I like her on there. And we'll put her, snuggle her right up to that sentiment. I like her a lot. Do we need to put her on a... I don't think we need to put her on anything else. I think we need to put her on there right there. She's good. I like her. Wow, that'd be the easiest one I've done tonight. And I did not like that background. I made this card a long time ago, never did like it, and I think I'm going to like it a whole lot. So anyway, yeah, I've tried to give that tractor away so many times. Tractor has got some age on it. Needs to be, you know, refurbished a little bit. Race enjoyed the heck out of that. And he didn't want it. He didn't have room for it. My granddaughter didn't want it. You know, nobody wanted it. I'm like, somebody's got to want this tractor. Yeah, have you seen them? They are heavy. This one had, every part of it was metal. The seat, the steering wheel, every part of it was metal. So that was cool. I'm very, very happy that they wanted it. All right, now could we spend a lot more time and analyze the composition and the this and the that and the something else of a card like this? Yes, we could. You know what? We're not going to, because done is better than perfect. I like her, actually. Elton likes the cards that I make. He's always asking me if I have any cards for various things. Fortunately, he likes inappropriate cards sometimes, so some of the snarky ones that I do, he finds funny. That's a good thing. Okay, so, there. We have that one. What do you think? I think she's okay. Every time I make one, you think it's your favorite? Okay, I think she's pretty good. She's pretty good shape. All right, I like her. I do. I like her. I like her much better than I liked her before. All right, let's do this one. This is another one I didn't like at all. I think because I just didn't, you know, it's not finished. So let's put somebody on there. Let's see if we can put somebody on there and make it feel better. I don't think one of these is going to work because I think, you know, other than I would have to cut her down. Cut around her. That might work. Let's, you know, it's only it doesn't matter. Let's cut her down and see what she looks like. This is not paper. This is cardstock, and so the cardstock is not quite as easy to maneuver your scissors around, and so you kind of need to not get too detailed with your cuts. Okay. Now she's going to kind of blend in, especially from where you guys are. She's going to kind of blend into the card because the color is similar to the card background, card base. So let's put some ink around her. We may have to do a little work on this one. We'll find out. We'll find out. Today also we bought plants and we planted flowers at Elton's office. He loves flowers. He loves to plant. He loves to garden. And that was what my dad taught when he was at the university. So I've been acquainted with plants and stuff for a long time. So it's kind of fun to do some of this together. Doing it together for us. Okay, I think she's going to work on there. This needs a little something, a little zhuzh of something else. Let's see if we can find a little something else here. What do we want? Just needs a little something. It needs a little something something. Just needs a little something something. So let's see if we can find a something something, shall we? Okay, this has got some texture. No. How about this one? How about this one? Maybe. Okay, we have a little Stay Curious thing. And then, what else do we have here? Let's see. Seems like it just feels like it needs one more something on top of it. No, that's not it. Oh, you know, sometimes you can just futz over stuff. Do you ever find that you do that? You just fuss over things and fuss over things. You go, no, no, no. And then you find the thing and you go, okay, that's it. Let's just see what this looks like. Because it's got this little yellow. I think that's okay. It needs a little something here that's going to connect these two together. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, let's try that. Maybe. Oh, this is the kind of thing I can just fiddle fart around with for the longest kind of time, you know? Okay, well, let's pretend that that's in there, kind of centered. Not in the middle. I know you guys are yelling at me in the chat, but you know, I'm not looking at the chat right this minute. Or I can't put it under the bottom one because the bottom one is already stuck down. keep looking in the monitor. I just think it needs something to connect them, the elements together a little bit. Okay, what do you guys think? Any suggestions from the peanut gallery? I know it's the overthinking thing. Something like her dress. I don't have anything like this. I have this. But see, that's too close to the background. I'm just digging through. I don't dare go get anything else out. I'm just digging through the scraps on my desk. What about a word? What about a word to stick on there? Let's see if we can find a word. Ooh. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Okay? All right. Let me just glue this stuff together. All right. Let's see if we can glue this together. Let's put this one on first. We got to build this as we go because otherwise I'm going to forget what went where. Okay, so we're going to put you kind of there. Okay, kind of there. We're going to put a little glue on the bottom of this. Okay, we're going to put a little glue on this. Hopefully you guys can all see. I'm not going to glue the whole, all the edges and everything. I'm just going to kind of glue it. Let some of it kind of stick up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to is what I should say. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of that glue under there. So we're just kind of tacking everything in place. And then, let's see, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do this. Okay, I'm going to put just a tack of glue on this for the moment. And then we're going to put her on here. Like, okay, you're going to scoot over. Okay, here we go. If we don't like it, you know, there's always the file 13. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? There's always file 13. You guys know what file 13 is, right? My dad used to talk about file 13. Okay. All right, let's see if we got her kind of on there. It's good if she's straight. That glue sets up so fast that sometimes you can't get everything super duper straight. Okay. Okay, creativity takes courage. Stay curious. Yeah. You like the pink behind her? Good. Okay, so, and then we're going to take, maybe we'll take this purple, because there's a lot of purple in this, parts of this card. It has a lot of purple. So just edge with a little purple here and there. Okay, I think I like her. What do you think? Can you like her? This is another one that was a misprint. This one. She was a misprint from the printer. I think she turned out okay. I think it turned out okay. Do you? You like it? Okay. I like the creativity takes courage. Kind of ties it together. Yep. Okay, so there's that one. All right, let's see if we can do one or two more, shall we? One or two. Sorry about my arm being in the way. I got out all my pens and stuff because I thought, oh, we'll definitely have to have some pen work on these. I haven't touched the pens yet, I don't think, have I? Any hoot. Okay. Keep thinking. I keep coming back to this. You know, I wonder what these would do. I had these cards that we made, the woven cards. You know, these. I thought maybe they'd be fun to have a girl on them, but I don't know. I kind of like those the way they are. Okay, I keep coming back to this one. Let me overthink this. And I think I may have to overthink it. Just a minute. I think I might have to overthink it. I might have to overthink it just a little bit more. Yeah. Kind of like her on there. I like her. Nope. Okay, it's either this one. I think it's too much. I think it might be that one. What do you guys think? Do you like that one? You guys like that one? This is, see what I mean? One of these is not like the other. And I'm not sure which one. I think this is the misprint. But in this case, the misprint looks better with the colors that are on here. Let's do her. Let's do this one, shall we? I like her, so let's do this one. Just because. All right, so I'm going to use my ruler and get her placed the way I want her. I'm going to use my ruler and I'm going to give myself a pencil line. Yeah, I like the misprint. I think the misprint is the better color. See, so don't throw your misprints away. Okay, let's do this. And then we have this for something else, which could be a headdress. It could be any number of things. And let's put some glue on her and stick her down, and then she truly will be, let me overthink this, because we will have successfully overthought it. And that's okay, you know? I find that the faster I work on some of these projects, the better results I get. I think we might have time to do one more. Okay. Put her in there. We're going to line her up at the bottom. Ta-da! Hang on. Let me overthink this. See? That way, right there, there's somebody that's saying that. Okay, I like her. Do you guys like her? I like her. I like her. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got here. We have a bunch more girls. And we have some that I have put, as I've shown you several times, I have put on paste paper or jelly print backgrounds. Poor thing, you are so ugly. Poor little thing. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to her. Okay, where did that piece go that I just cut off? Okay. Yeah, we'll do that on another one. All right, let's take this one and let's pick out a card base for her. I'm glad you like her. Okay, no. Okay. Let's try this melon color. I do enjoy having a wide variety of card bases. Pre-folded, pre-colored, pre-everything. Not bad. They look so different depending on what you put under them. I don't know. I think I like that one the best. Do you guys like that? I think I like that. Do you like that? I think I like that. And then we will put some words around her. Okay. Let me find the tape. Actually, this one's paper, so we can use this tape if it's not messed up. Let's see if this tape will work for us. This tape runners are really good as long as they don't mess up. But sometimes you can mess up with them, and they're just a pain in the tush. Okay. All right. It's always good to have the check and make sure where the fold of the card is located. So that you don't have the fold on the wrong side. All right, she looks pretty good. She looks pretty good. All right, let's see if we can find something to put on this card. Maybe we should put something nice on this one, should we? Okay, actually I like this one. Okay. Let's see where we can put this. We're going to cut this up. And I'm going to put these kind of in a wonky fashion. Look. I may have to go back and glue these on later. I'm just going to stick them on for now. On. Right side. Okay, so we're gonna hope this sticks, and if it doesn't, I'll come back and actually glue them on later. Because by the time I get done handling them, I often have de-stuck some of the sticky. Look on the bright side. It's all perspective. Uh-huh. Look on the bright side. It's all perspective. Oh, it's so easy to say that. It is so easy to say that. It is such a challenge to do. All right. I'm looking for a pen that is going to work for me. There you go. Look on the bright side. It's all perspective. Okay, so shall we look at what we did tonight? So you see this one, that's going to take a second for that glue, or for that black paint pen to dry, so we're going to set her to the side. And then we just did this one. Hang on, let me overthink this. Creativity takes courage. Stay curious. Stay curious. Some of these could use a little pen work here and there, but not tonight. Be you bravely. That is for sure. Nobody else can be you but you. Be brave. Darling, you are a work of art. Or, darling, you are a work of art. That could be said in a nice way or a snarky way. She is brave. She is. Who else could go out wearing bubbles on their head unless she was brave? Today is full of possibilities. Every day is, right? Every day, full of possibilities. I have no idea what I'm doing. That is so true. And throw kindness around like confetti. For real. Okay. All right. So out of this session of using up in an attempt to complete something that is uncompleted, been incomplete for so long, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cards. Now if I just would hang in here, I could make one more and we'd have 10. I like 10 better than 9, but that's okay. So that's what we got done. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will be back on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's when I'll be back. I hope you guys have a good restful evening if it's night where you are. If not, if it's daylight, I hope you have a good time. I hope you wake up and have a wonderful, great day. And yeah, plus I have 2 more, so actually I have 11. So, you know, we did okay. And I have a few more left. Okay, you all, thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're here. My name is Barb. If you're new, welcome. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you found me. And I will see you on Friday, or else I'll see you next Monday night. As far as I know, I am here for a bit. Nothing planned to be away, I don't think. All right. You like the purple one? Ruth likes purple. Imagine such a thing. It's her favorite color of all time. It's good to see you all. Go do something nice for somebody. Stay curious. Look on the bright side. It's all perspective and all that. Okay? I will see you next time. Until then, remember to get creative today. Every day. Even if it's in small snippets. Because that's what I'm having to do right now. Get creative every day. It is easy. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.